Hello, today is February 10th, 2025, and I'm Jason Shapiro with CrowdedMarketReport.com. So I think that today was have the possibility of being a pretty important day for the markets, in particular the stock market. And I say that because I go back to the start of the year. We're trying to figure out what consensus is, because consensus is usually wrong. My read on consensus this year was that people thought the stock market was going to go up single digits, but with a lot of volatility in between. So what's non-consensus there? I would argue it's either the market just goes up, a lot more than people expect, kind of like it did last year with not much volatility really. I mean, it's never going to go up every day or every month, but not much volatility, go up more than expected, or it would just go down. So we're now, 5-6 weeks into the year. Certainly there has been some volatility because there has been, obviously, with the new administration, a lot of disruption with the tariff talk. And then we had this DeepSeek thing, which was pretty disruptive as well. The DeepSeek thing went away pretty quickly. It was about a one-day event. And the tariff thing, if we are going to do the one where the market's just going to go up much more than people expected, then the market's going to have to fight off these things that the new administration is doing, if they have taken it as bad. And to this point, I feel like the tariffs, every time the tariff news comes out, it is taken as bad. But today, we had tariff news on overnight, and we had this big gap down, as would be expected to what has been happening recently. But then we went straight up. So the market really, for the first time, I would argue today, fought off the tariff news. So it's fought off the DeepSeek news, and it's fought off the tariff news. And that is a market, to me, that has very good tone. And I think that the probability from here is that it's going to go up. And it's going to go up, like I say, if it's non-consensus, it's probably going to go up a lot more than people are thinking for the year. And it's probably going to do it from here with a lot less volatility than was expected. And we'll know if this is a bad idea if it takes out that last night low. Well, then the story changes, right? There's like, if I were going to be long this thing, I'd be long it against that last night low. But like I say, that was an interesting move today. For the first time, we were able to fight off this tariff talk, and that's what bull markets do. Eventually, they just fight off the same bad news, and it's just not bad news anymore. And that's what we did. Interestingly, the bonds were pretty flat today. They were higher and came off, but we're basically flat, and the short end was very flat. And that's despite the fact that, commodities really, crude oil was up 2%. Natural gas was up 4%. Gold was up a lot. Platinum up a lot. Palladium up a lot. Copper up a lot. The commodities really were up a lot. We had other ones too, Coffee's going, somewhat ballistic, right? So why weren't the bonds down more? They seem to be holding pretty well, is my only point. And certainly the bond thing, if they were to collapse, could get in the way of the stock rally. But to this point, they're holding pretty strong. I think that's interesting as well. And on the back of all that news, the other thing that goes on when we hear this tariff news is the dollar gets stronger and most of these currencies get weaker. And that really is what happened, which was no surprise given the news. But you can see the pound, which is still sort of the strongest currency of them, but was weak today. Canadian dollar was okay. Even the yen came down. It's been going up a lot lately. The euro is kind of trying to test lows again. Swiss franc trying to kind of test lows again. So that was sort of normal. But again, I think the focus is on the stocks here because of the way that they reacted today. So that's kind of my thought. Could be an important day today. Let's see how it goes, and just watch out for last night's low. And then you can just say Shapiro doesn't know what he's talking about, and it was wrong. But we always got to know where we're wrong with any sort of bet or trade that we make. That's the most important thing. Know where you're wrong, so you can just get out, take your loss, and move on to the next risk reward opportunity. Okay. But for now, tape looks good. It really does. All right. So those are my thoughts for tonight. I hope that helps. Please like the video if it helps. Check us out, CrowdedMarketReport.com, Substack, YouTube, etc. All right. Thank you. And I hope everybody has a good day and a good week.